Well. More market manipulation continues to play out. In this video, let's talk about what's going on with GameStop. We're going to talk about central bankers and how they manipulate markets, and how this time the people, the victims, fought back. You see, the central bankers, they're basically criminal organizations that manipulate markets to their advantage to enrich themselves and scam the masses. Well, again, in this example of what happened, I think this is awesome. Basically, in a nutshell, what happened is you got these central bankers and these hedge fund managers manipulating the stock markets, and then you got all these basically poor people, retail investors, the masses, who came together on Reddit and beat the central bankers at their own game. And I think this is hilarious and amazing. Let me read you this meme that I found right here. It says GameStop's stock price has increased from $39 to $380 in 1 week, 874%. But why? GameStop has been heavily shorted by multiple hedge funds. By short selling a stock, hedge funds are betting that the price of the stock will go down. Hedge funds wanted GameStop to file for bankruptcy so that their short positions would profit. A group of 3 million plus retail investors, regular investors on Reddit, known as Wall Street Bets, teamed up to buy GameStop stock together. They have the power to buy and hold the stock to run the price higher and higher. Hedge fund managers who shorted the stock are losing money when the stock moves higher. The only way to close a short position is to buy the shares at the now inflated price. This process is known as short squeeze. These hedge funds will buy the shares from the retail investors as a transfer of money from Wall Street to individual Redditors trading with Robinhood accounts. This is a targeted plan, not a random price action. Now, Robinhood is an app that you download on your phone, and it's a place where retail investors, it's a place where the masses can actually start entering the stock market. Now, Robinhood gets hit with a class action lawsuit. So let me show you what's happening here. Let's scroll down a little bit. A Robinhood customer filed a class action lawsuit against the stock trading app Thursday after the company barred traders from buying shares of GameStop promoted by Wall Street Beats, a popular Reddit group for investors. So guys, basically this Reddit group, they all used Robinhood. Now, Robinhood is an app designed for the masses. Before smartphones and computer technology and all these applications on the iPhones, the average person, the masses, the poor and the middle class, they couldn't even participate in things like the stock market or the Forex market. But now, because we have this technology, the masses can participate. And this is how the masses fought back and beat the criminal central bankers at their own game, through organizing on a social media platform called Reddit, and then using the Robinhood app. Which it's funny because the Robinhood app, it's basically a tool that central bankers use to trick retail investors into buying stocks and assets during the hype. Remember, everything's manipulated. So what these central bankers and these big hedge fund managers do is they'll run a bunch of campaigns, a bunch of advertisement campaigns, and they'll run a bunch of propaganda to create hype around a certain asset. And then once the hype is created, all the retail investors, the masses, the poor and the middle class, which don't really have any emotional or psychological training, they're kind of like, they're sheep. They follow what the mainstream media tells them to do. So if the mainstream media goes and pumps up a certain stock and says, oh my God, this new stock, it's going to be so great, this is a way for the masses to go in and buy that stock. Now, the central bankers, they're buying the stocks way in advance. See, they would buy the stock for dirt freaking cheap and then finance an advertisement campaign through the mainstream media to convince the retail investors that this is going to be a good buy, and then that drives the value of the stock up. And then while all the retail investors are buying the stock, the central bankers are selling it for a higher price. So it's all a scam. It's all market manipulation. It's kind of a funny thing because, like, Robinhood was always, there was this story about a poor a poor man that was stealing from the rich, corrupt governments and giving back to the people. Well, it's funny because in this day and age, Robinhood was originally created so that the rich central bankers could steal from poor people by manipulating markets and then using it as a platform for the poor people to buy into all the hype while the rich people were selling. So you see how they do this here? Let's continue reading. The lawsuit filed in the Southern District of New York claims that Robinhood's actions rigged the market against the customers. See, that's exactly what I was just describing. It's all rigged. Like, it's all psychological manipulation and stuff that they use to manipulate markets and get people to buy in when a stock is high, so that they can cash out and double or triple or quadruple or however much profit these bankers get. Robinhood's actions were done purposefully and knowing to manipulate the market for the benefit of the people and the financial institutions who were not Robinhood's customers, the lawsuit states. So Robinhood sued by customers for restricting GameStop trading. So let's take a look at another article here. So basically, like, in my opinion, I think what happens is you got the central bankers and the hedge fund managers manipulating markets, basically scamming the masses. The masses fight back. They organize together on Reddit. They use Robinhood, and they beat them at their own game. They beat the central bankers at their own game, and then the central bankers and the hedge fund managers start crying and whining. They go to their people that they work with, or they go to their lawyers, or they go to the people that created Robinhood. And they use their power to basically go to Robinhood and say, we need you guys to restrict GameStop trading. Well, just acting like little crybabies. The masses beat us at their own game because of Robinhood, and they were able to short squeeze GameStop. We need you to restrict their trading of GameStop on Robinhood. So Robinhood follows suit and restricts trading, and then they get hit with this lawsuit. So let's read a little bit of it. Let's see what it says here. It says, Robinhood customers have sued the stock trading firm after it restricted the Reddit-driven trading frenzy surrounding GameStop. Robinhood was named a defendant in a pair of federal lawsuits filed by disgruntled customers in New York and Chicago. The legal action came after the company on Thursday that in some cases amateur investors would only be able to sell their positions and not open new ones. The usual move came as a reaction to the wild investment in GameStop that has piled up huge losses for hedge funds and Wall Street investors with short positions. GameStop's share price, which at the beginning of the year was $20, had spiked 700% over the past 2 weeks to more than $500. So you kind of see what's happening here, how like the whole stock market is rigged. All the markets are rigged. And it's not just the stock market, guys. Like, every single market on this planet is manipulated by central bankers and these big hedge fund managers. And they do this manipulation to enrich themselves and screw over everyone else. This is the same kind of manipulation that happened in 2008 when the housing market collapsed. The central bankers and these big real estate companies and hedge fund managers, They allowed the real estate market to keep going up and up and up and up, and then they manufactured the 2008 housing collapse, and they did this with the intention of basically stealing people's homes. So they did it so they could foreclose on people's homes. Foreclosure or foreclosing on a home is just a fancy word central bankers use to basically steal people's homes through market manipulation. And the same thing happens in the cryptocurrency markets. And all these markets are under massive manipulation by these central bankers. And I just think it's great and it's awesome that now the people are fighting back and beating them at their own game.